It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Brought to you by Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet of Waterford. Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am your host, Regina Eileen Woodard, a.k.a. the Queen of Car Loans. And you know what? We're going global today because we talking to our guest that's out of Michigan. But I'm sitting next to my favorite guest in the whole wide world. I'm sorry, my favorite guest, my favorite co-host, right? Are you my co-host or my guest this morning?
Listen, okay, it's Dr. T this morning. I'm the co-host. Good. Happy Saturday, everyone. So excited to be on this morning.
So, Dr. T.
Yes.
You know what? You participate in a lot of programs. You're involved in a lot of things, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you this morning. Can I give you some love this morning? Can I give you your flowers?
Yeah, give me my flowers today.
Oh wow! I thought you was gonna say no.
Are they red?
Well, you know what? I woke up this morning and I said, I thank God for you because you play an instrumental part in my life with my brothers, right? Everybody don't know that I have two special needs brothers. And you actually, I pay for the food, just so you guys know, but she goes shopping for me for free, right? She don't charge me no gas money. She goes there and love on them like those are her two brothers. So I wanted to give you, that what fell on my heart this morning. So I wanted to give you some love on this Saturday morning. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
And it's all about building relationships, right? And you've been building relationships for years, but let's go ahead and introduce who we're having on the show this morning.
So I'm super excited. I have my sister all the way out of Texas. She is on today, and she is a part of Well of Worship Global. And I am also a part of Well of Worship Global. My sister, Shayna Rattler, she is the Director of Communications, and she'll be joining us today. Good morning, Shayna.
Hello, Detroit. How are y'all today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good morning.
I'm doing good. It's kind of cloudy here in Dallas, which is unusual, but hey, I'll take it because it's been between 105 and 117 for over 45 days. So I'll take this cloud so they can hide this heat.
Wow. So, Shayna, we're excited this morning. We're excited for what you're going to share with us. So I'm going to get started. Can you tell everybody what is Well of Worship Global?
Absolutely. So I wear a lot of hats. There's a lot of things that I am involved in, but one of the things that I am involved in that is the nearest and dearest to my heart is Well of Worship Global. And what we are is we are a mobile team ministry. A lot of people are not familiar with the concept of a team ministry, but I noticed that they're starting to become more popular. They're starting to pop up. So before I get into more detail about what Well of Worship is, and you'll probably hear me say WOW, that stands for Well of Worship, just because I don't want to keep saying Well of Worship Global over and over and over during this interview. But basically, a team ministry is one in which different individuals and different organizations come together to operate as one unit. And Well of Worship Global specifically, we are a little bit unique because we operate in both the ministry and the marketplace. We, among many things, we flow in healing, we flow in deliverance, we flow in prophecy, but everything we do is designed to help individuals, families, and organizations to be able to grow in God and also to be able to live more fulfilling lives.
Wow, that's awesome.
So Shayna, when you say global, when I think of global, I'm thinking all 50 states. What does global mean? Explain to me that because, I just really honestly, I'm a Baptist. I grew up a Baptist all my life, right? But since really I've been sitting next to Dr. T, I don't know, the Lord been blessing me more, and he's been talking to me. So explain global for the people that don't. They church, but they don't church.
Right. So global don't have anything to do with how churchy you are. Global
okay,
is
thank you.
The United States. You mentioned all 50 states. Well, I hate to bust your bubble this morning, but the 50 states is just one area of the globe. So when we say global, we mean that we are an international ministry. We not only have the way that our ministry is designed, we have some people that are kind of in leadership that oversee what we do. We call them apostles. And we have apostles in different parts of this country, but we also have people that oversee what we do in other countries. In addition to our oversight that happens to be in other countries, we also operate in other countries as well. So when we say Well of Worship Global, we mean that the work that we do is not just having an impact here in the wonderful United States of America, but we are having impact across all nations in all countries, in all, international. They say we international in these streets. Well, wow, we're international in these kingdom streets.
Yes, that is good. Shayna, I'm so glad that you expounded on that. Listen, tell the listeners what makes us different. I know that Well of Worship is comprised of a lot of different individuals and different, churches that come together. Tell us what makes Well of Worship unique.
Well, the biggest thing, and I want to just clear this up, we're not a church. We are a movement.
Exactly.
And that is key for a number of reasons. One, it gives us the ability to focus more on relationship with the Father than religion. That's the biggest thing. And when you're a movement, you're not just focused on what is going on within the four walls of your house, which is what many churches these days are not doing so well, in my opinion. They focus a lot on what they're doing internally, but they neglect a lot of the things that are going on externally.
Wait. Let me stop you there. That was huge. You said that most churches focus on what's going on within the four walls of the church. But that's huge. Let's talk a little bit about that, because ministry happens outside of the four walls of the church as well.
It should.
Absolutely.
It should. And that's one of the things that makes what we do at Well of Worship so unique, is because since we are a movement and we are not only in other people's ministries working, but we're doing things in the marketplace as well. And like I said, that gives us the ability to, number one, focus more on relationship with the Father than religion. But here's what's key, and this is what helps us be global, Regina, is that it gives us the ability to be able to reach more people. Because let's just be honest, many people today are turned off by the traditional church. Many people today claim to have been hurt by the church. Many people today look at what these celebrity pastors are doing, and they're like, I don't want no part of church, no part of God, if that's what comes with it. And so us being a movement and us not being a church, it gives us the opportunity to reach those hearts that have hardened towards the church and in many ways have hardened towards God.
So help me understand the marketplace, because when I think about the marketplace, I'm in the car business, and we put, people sell clothes, shoes, cars in the marketplace, right? And that's open to Facebook all over the United States. So explain the marketplace, and when you say the marketplace, what is the marketplace? What does that mean? Just
what you described. That means that sometimes we're sharing the good news of Jesus at an event that is ministry related, and sometimes we're sharing the good news of Jesus maybe at a business conference. So when we say ministry and marketplace, we're saying we're talking about kingdom. And kingdom is not just things that have a cross on it. Kingdom is not just things that are limited to things that say Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran. Kingdom is everywhere. I like to say kingdom is God's country. So everywhere we as Well of Worship place our feet, that's kingdom. And sometimes it happens in more of a traditional ministry role, and then other times it's happening out in the marketplace.
Wow. So, Shayna, when you say kingdom, that's God's dwelling place. So when I hear the word kingdom, I'm like, that's where God dwells. So that's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about what principles does Well of Worship stand on?
So we have 5 core values, and we've worked hard to come up with these 5 core values. They are diversity, accountability, freedom, boldness, and unity. And these values, they're the driving force behind how we behave as a team. It's how we make decisions, and it's also how we engage with others. And we do this because we recognize that that's what major companies who are successful, that's what they do. They have core values. So if we're behaving in a certain way, we need to be able to ask ourselves, does this check itself against our core values? When we're making a decision about do we do this or do we do that, we check that against our core values. When we're engaging with people in ministry in the marketplace, we check ourselves against, is that going in alignment with our core values.
So I have a question. So what's the difference between when you say worship global or everything that you're doing? What's the difference between what you all do? Let's just say in Baptist. I grew up in Baptist. Is it the same thing, or just help me out, because I'm not, as I said in the beginning of the program, I'm church, but I'm not churchy. No offense to anybody, but I'm getting to be churchy. I'm getting more where, I pray every day before I go to bed. When I wake up, I thank God when I first wake up in the morning for waking me up. And I thank God for the things that I have, my health, my family, my friends. But I don't know the difference between, what you all do compared to being a Baptist.
So you're talking about denomination. Denomination is just a sliver of Christianity that has their own subset of beliefs as it falls under Christianity. So Well of Worship is not a denomination. We are not a church. But all churches, well, let me say, hopefully all churches and all denominations stand for one reason: to share the good news of Jesus and to teach people how to live according to the principles of the Bible. Well of Worship, at the foundation, God is at the head of this. We're not doing anything any different. We're just doing it in a different way, because many denominations do not cross denominational lines. Many churches, as we said, don't go outside of their church. So we're doing at the foundation, we're preaching Jesus, we're teaching people what Jesus requires of us, and we're showing people when you grow in God, that's when you overcome adversity. When you grow in God, that's when you live the life that you say that you're dreaming of. So Well of Worship is just doing it in a different way. We're choosing not to be attached to any particular denomination. We're choosing not to be attached to any one building, and we're going everywhere in the world to do what churches say they're going to do, but in much more of a limited way.
We're going to take a break, and we're going to pay some bills because we have some sponsors that we need to make sure their commercial get ran. So we'll be right back.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, here at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. In August, we're giving away 12 months of Jack's Unlimited Car Wash memberships to the first 25 people who buy a new or used car from me. Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Do you desire to know God on a deeper level? Do you need to see signs, miracles, and wonders in your life? Do you want to grow your faith so you can overcome adversity and have a breathtaking future? Yes? Then you must attend the Glory Realm Miracle Encounter happening in Tampa, Florida, October 20th through 23rd. It will be 4 epic days of refreshing, restoration, and rejoicing. Go to www.wellofworship.com for additional details and to grab your seat today.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. In August, we're giving away 12 months of Jack's Unlimited Car Wash memberships for free to the first 25 people who buy a new or used car from me. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am your host, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Regina, a.k.a. Regina Eileen Woodard. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. And I'm sitting next to my favorite co-host, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Oh, Lord, she started singing again. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's Dr. T. She started singing, you all. So listen.
And we still have on the line our guest.
Yes, Miss Shayna Rattler out of Dallas, Texas, my sister with Well of Worship Global. So, Shayna, we are back now. Can you tell us who started Well of Worship?
Me?
Well, our wonderful...
Hold on, Shayna. Wait, Shayna. You know, Regina said she started it, right?
I was waiting for you to say...
Listen, Regina don't even know the difference between the United States and global, so she ain't started nothing.
Not when it come to churchy. See, I'm church, but I'm not churchy. See, I just put a new term out there for everybody. So if you go to church, right. If you go twice a week or, you go every Sunday or 3 times a month, that means you're churchy. Okay.
That's not true.
Okay. All right. So okay, I got my own lane. I'm sorry.
Shayna, help us out here.
We won't go there.
Okay, Shayna, thank you.
But our wonderful, wonderful founder, her name is Natasha Burks. And when I tell y'all you know how we say things like, my brother from another mother and my sister from another mister. Well, this girl, she really couldn't be my natural sister because she was literally born 3 days before I was, so we couldn't be natural sisters. But when I tell you that this young lady, she is the sweetest, the most genuine woman that you will ever meet, and she is not only on fire for God, but when I tell you that little thing, and when I say little, that's because she's short, that little thing is a teacher. She knows how to break down the word in a way that is understandable, but she saw a void. And that is why she created Well of Worship, because she said, I want to do something different. I feel like God is calling me to something different. And I believe that there is something different that is needed in the kingdom, especially if we're going to be effective. And so she created Well of Worship, and she thought, like, what are the events that we need to have? What type of training is needed out there? And it slips my mind exactly how long ago it was, but I know it was over 12 years ago that she started Well of Worship. And I am just so grateful for her vision. I am grateful for her vision. I am grateful for her tenacity. I am grateful for her persistence. And Well of Worship would not be what it is today if it was not for Natasha Burks and her sister, Annette Kelly, who co-founded Well of Worship alongside her.
So help me out here, for the folks that are not churchy. What's Natasha's title? What does she do?
She was currently elevated to the office of the apostle last October. So she is a minister. Her specific role, she does walk in the office of the apostle. Don't ask me what all that means. We do not have time to break down the fivefold ministry, so don't even ask me that. But she walks in the office of the apostle. And very simply, an apostle is somebody that governs. An apostle is somebody that establishes order. And so that's what her current title is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And so, Shayna, let me ask you this. So how did you get a part of Well of Worship?
Well, Well of Worship, it's made up, we do function as a fivefold ministry, but it's comprised of individuals who are leaders inside and outside of the church. So many of us, run our own businesses. Some of us pastor churches, but all of us are leaders in our own right. And the way that I got connected with Well of Worship is that I was having lunch with a lady that I know that lives here in Dallas. And I was sharing with her, I said, you know what? I've been in ministry for a few years now, and I thought being an entrepreneur was lonely. Being in ministry is lonely because even though I have some great friends, not all of them believe like I believe, and not all of them are what I call sold out for God. I say I'm saved and sold out. Some people are just believers. They believe there is a God. They attend church. I don't know how that fits into Regina's definition of church versus churchy, but I don't necessarily see their day-to-day decisions showing that they live for God. When I think about what I want in a friend, when I think about what I want in a husband, I always say that I want them to live a James 1:22 life, because in James 1:22, it warns us, listen, don't just be hearers of the word. You also have to be doers of the word. And if you don't, you're deceiving yourself. And so I was having a conversation with this young lady, and I said, it's very difficult being in ministry, and it's very difficult finding friends that you don't have to explain yourself to, that they believe like you believe, and they have a desire to live the same way that you live. And she had just come back from an event that Well of Worship had done, and she was like, oh, my goodness, well, then you have to meet Natasha Burks. She runs this organization called Well of Worship. She lives here locally. Now, unbeknownst to me, that I know that 3 weeks after I met her, they was going up and move to another state. But so she did an introduction, not necessarily that I could be on the leadership team or be part of Well of Worship, but just so that I could be connected with like-minded sisters here in the Dallas area, just so that I could call in and listen to the prayer call on Saturdays. Well, it ended up becoming much more than that. We got on a Zoom call, and they saw a gift on my own life, and they invited me to come alongside and be part of the Well of Worship team. Wow. And that was almost 2 years ago.
Wow, Shayna. So I'm excited, too, because your story is a little different than mine. So I encountered a wow. My wow intervention was when I met them at an event that Lady Keisha McKinney was doing. And from the very onset of meeting Apostle Natasha Burks and Prophet Annette Kelly, I was drawn to them. So you're absolutely right. There's something definitely unique about these two women, and I'm so very thankful to be a part of Well of Worship. But Shayna, I do have a question for you. So how can someone who is listening today, they feel like they want to be a part of Well of Worship, how can they become a part of Well of Worship?
The very first thing that I want you to do is go like our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is Well of Worship Global, but you also can go to facebook.com/Well of Worship, all one word. That's the very first thing that you're going to want to do, is to follow that Facebook page, because anything we do, whether we're having an event, whether or not we are doing something at someone else's organization, whether it is our prayer call that happens every single Saturday morning, or if it's, we do something called Revival Fire, which is a teaching that we do a couple of times a month on Saturday. So the best way to stay connected is to like that Facebook page, because anything we do, we don't do it without putting it on that Facebook page. So I want everybody to stop what they're doing right now. Take out your computer, take out your phone. Don't do it later because you'll forget. And go to facebook.com/Well of Worship, all one word, and make sure you hit that like button.
We just want to make sure you do hit that like button, because, when our guest gives you some instructions, you must do it right now. So, Shayna, you all have an event coming up. Well of Worship has an event coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, my goodness, yes. So it is our annual event, and it's called the Glory Realm Miracle Encounter. And this year, it's happening in the beautiful Tampa, Florida, and it's going to be held October 20th through the 23rd. And it's going to be 4 epic days of refreshing, restoration, and rejoicing. So you can expect to be healed. You can expect to be delivered. You can expect to be motivated and inspired. And most importantly, you can expect to gain a deeper relationship with God. I can guarantee you that your life will always, always, always forever be changed. But I want to stress, this is not a conference. It is an encounter. So this is not another one of those boring things where you're going to come and you're going to go from session to session and they're going to be talking about the same stuff you've heard at the last 5 conferences that had the same promise. This is an encounter with the Lord. And whether it is from the worship that happens at the beginning of every time we come up after a break, whether it is the word that is going forth, whether it is a word directly from one of our ordained prophets that is speaking directly from God to you, I can guarantee you that you do not want to miss this event. So again, if you will go to facebook.com/Well of Worship, you will see there on the page. I'm not going to give you the event page. I'm not going to give you all that. Go to the Facebook page, hit the like button, and I guarantee you that you will see more information about the Glory Realm Miracle Encounter. And you want to get your ticket for this event, and you want to get your room, and you want to get your flight if you need it, but you need to be in Tampa, Florida.
Hey, listen, if you didn't get anything on this show before we take a quick break, you're going to be healed. You're going to have a deeper relationship with God. Your encounter is going to be different because you're going to be around people that are going to love on you, show you the way. And if you don't have the way before you get there, trust me, trust and believe. I know you're going to have that way when you come back. We'll be right back.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. In August, we're giving away 12 months of Jack's Unlimited Car Wash memberships to the first 25 people who buy a new or used car from me. Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Do you desire to know God on a deeper level? Do you need to see signs, miracles, and wonders in your life? Do you want to grow your faith so you can overcome adversity and have a breathtaking future? Yes? Then you must attend the Glory Realm Miracle Encounter happening in Tampa, Florida, October 20th through 23rd. It will be 4 epic days of refreshing, restoration, and rejoicing. Go to www.wellofworship.com for additional details and to grab your seat today.
Summer's here, and what a better way to spend it than with a Chevy from Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. From me, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. We're giving away 12 months of Jack's car washes to the first 25 people who buy from me in the month of August. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style this summer with the Queen, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and I'm your host, Regina Eileen Woodard. Regina, a.k.a. the Queen of Car Loans. Let me say this. If you're looking to put an application in 24 hours a day, you can go to my website, reginathequeenofcarloans.com, and you can look at my inventory, or you can put an application in, or you can just browse. You don't have to be in Michigan, as we just got through talking about on the show. I am global. You can go in a different state and buy a car from me. But you can't be in Africa. I can't service you if you live in Africa. That's the only part that I cannot do. But Dr. T.
Yes. Good morning again, everybody. So I'm excited again to have Shayna on. So Shayna, I want to ask you a question. What is the mission of Well of Worship?
Our mission is very simple. It's to encounter God, to engage the world, and equip the body.
Can you repeat that again?
For sure. To encounter God, engage the world, and equip the body.
Wow. So encounter God and engage the world and equip the body. So listen, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on today. I want to even encourage all the listeners now to go to www.beinthedriverseat and like our page as well. And we want to also get you to subscribe. We are giving away a free iPad. So if you go to our page, www.beinthedriverseat.com, subscribe, like our page, and register to win a free iPad. And you will also be able to hear this wonderful segment in a few days afterwards.
Any last words, Shayna? Any last words for everybody, for our audience?
Yes, it's simple. Like the Facebook page. Here's why that's so important. Because someone may be saying, listen, Shayna, I already have something to do during those dates in October. I can't get to the encounter. I may not have the funds to be able to get to the encounter. Well, on our Facebook page is another way that we do our mission. So we post content on our Facebook page that is going to help you in your daily life. Like I said, you can be invited to our prayer calls that happen every week. So there's a lot of information. It's not just, hey, like the page, and there's just a bunch of foolishness that pops up that I don't want to be bothered with. So that's why I say, if you do nothing else, we would love to see you in Tampa at the encounter. But in the event that you can't be there, or even if you can be there, you are definitely going to want to be on that page, because it's going to change your life and help you grow in God.
And where's the event? We didn't say where the event was, did we?
Yes, we did. I said it's in the beautiful Tampa, Florida.
Oh, you sure did. I got family in Tampa, and I guess I missed it. I started thinking about family when you said Tampa. Listen. You are exactly right.
And it's at the Hyatt House in Tampa. So we're so excited.
Thanks for listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. Remember that if you missed this episode on Saturday morning, you can also go to www.beinthedriverseat.com and listen to our episode from this Saturday and past episodes. Just download and listen. See you next week, same time. Well, listen to us next week. Same time, same place. And remember, in September, we'll be going for 1 hour just for you. Have a good week.
Have a good week.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Longhammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.